Right, for today we have this 1953 SE1 in steam. I think this little fellow is just about ready to go, so let's give it a spin. And there we go. Now this particular engine dates from 53, Mamod flywheel, flat base, last time that combination would be seen. This one's running on a 3-wick burner, and I say it's the first time since I've owned this engine I've actually steamed it. It's connected to a relatively period workshop, green 1950s Meccano, unclipped red-wheeled power hammer and punch, very much in vogue. Later Mamod actually clipped and cleaned up the edges of these. I find these a little bit difficult to get hold of, but nice touch. 1952 grinder, the 2 colour wheels on there, and the polisher is probably about 1960 because it's lacking the actual oiling points on there. The line shaft is a flat base blue decal version. It hasn't got the correct flywheel. Might have had brass on there, might have had Mamod. I'm running this with a 2-inch Meccano pulley, which does the job just as well. It's got new belts on, and basically this is providing the engine no problem whatsoever to run. You can see also the base plate on this one does have the retaining ears for the actual burner. Apart from that, the engine is in good condition. It's still got the remnants of a decal. I think it might be blue, it might be red. It's a bit difficult to tell. Simple little engine, no frills. Seems to have the larger of the union nuts on the steam pipe. Apart from that, to say it's running extremely well and having no problems whatsoever running this. So the press and the hammer have what we call an unclipped flywheel, in as much as that they're painted red all the way round. They're very much the early pattern of the Mamod flywheels. Later ones were a lot thinner in the rim. The power press or the power grinder has the fine and medium grip wheels. That belt's just gone. I shouldn't have touched it. But as you can see, again, that's very much of the period. I'll see if I can get this one reconnected. I still have the dire touch when it comes to touching anything that involves a drive fan these days. We'll give it a try, but these are, as from yesterday, very difficult to actually connect. You can just excuse me for a moment. No, very fiddly. We'll leave that till later. So anyway, I mean, it was running it perfectly well without that, as you can see. The polisher doesn't have the oiling point, so it probably came such a little bit later in the 60s. Still has that nice minty green paint, so that's roughly where I can date it. So the engine itself is obviously screw construction for the engine frame. You see, obviously this is the steel press frame, a lot cheaper than the hot brass stamped affairs, which only lasted for about a year on the 48 SE1 and SE2. This particular one has the early thick rim Mamod flywheel, and it's running extremely well. Certainly a lot faster than the SE1 from 1948, which has got a very short stroke engine on it. This runs a lot more freely, and as you can tell from the hammer, it's running at a decent speed as well. Obviously no regulator on these, so consequently once it's up and running they just go flat out. As I said yesterday, these are a lot easier to incorporate into a Meccano accessory, for the simple fact that the flat base lends itself a lot easier to being attached to the Meccano L girders. You can see these I've got sitting on top instead and stopping underneath, because I find them sometimes difficult to get in under that Meccano strip, even with the elongated holes, whereas you can see the flat base items drop in easy as pie. Excuse my shadow, I'm afraid. The blue decal on this one is in particularly fine metal actually. It's quite unusual to find them in good condition. Pull this one back a little bit, and then you can see the full engine. I always put some oil on the actual cam of the power press, because sometimes some of them can be a little sticky. The line shaft has the oiling point on its Mazat cast item support. Again, these are all screwed to the base. The hammer is screwed to its base, but curiously I've always found the other three tools were always riveted instead, possibly because of the fact that these types of rivets were difficult to fit onto the body, because obviously they're recessed right in the corner of the casting. So there you have it, a 1953 or circa that date Mamod SE1 with a full workshop of Mamod tools, and again I think a resounding success. The engine runs extremely well, and I hope you've enjoyed actually watching this video. So I'll shut up for now and just take a few more moments to enjoy the engine running, and then we'll call it a day.